video, I am going to be talking to you guys about finding joy in exercise with mindful movement. So with that being said, a couple little things before we get started today. So if you guys are watching live with me, please say hello. I love to interact with you as I am doing my videos here. And then if you're watching on the replay, just hashtag replay so I can make sure to come back later and say hi to you then. And then if you guys are not watching this in my community, I have a community called Self-Love at Any Size, Accept and Respect Your Body. This is the community where women gather to just connect and empower each other to really take those brave leaps towards self-love. So if self-love is something that you struggle with and you have a bad relationship with your body, with food, with exercise, you will want to join our free group here. And then secondly, if you guys are watching this on Facebook, I would ask you to head on over to YouTube when this video is done and type in my first and last name and then hit the subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications for each time that I come live. So that is all that stuff, you guys. So what I'm going to do while we are getting started here is just pop into my one feed so I can see anybody that is hopping in so I can say hello to you. All right, here we go. Okay, so I can see if anyone is saying hello. Okay, so finding joy in exercise with mindful movement. So, finding joy, and let me know in the comments how you guys feel about exercise. If you kind of have a love-hate relationship, if you love it, or if you have struggled to find things that bring you joy. So finding joy in exercise is something that many people struggle with, and I was that person. The thought of working out, it can be really overwhelming and just seem like a lot of work if you don't enjoy it, right? However, when we start to add mindful movement to our exercise routines, we can really start to find joy in moving our bodies, right? So mindful movement is all about being present in the moment and really focusing on your body's movements, right? So this type of exercise is perfect for beginners because it doesn't really require any equipment. It doesn't require any equipment or special skills, right? So when we take time to focus on our body and how it feels when we move, we can begin to enjoy fitness and feel good about ourselves. So when it comes to working out, in my own experience, I have found that mindfulness is really the key. It's really important to be aware of your body, how it's feeling, in order to kind of get the most out of that movement that you're doing. So that really means being present in the moment and paying attention to your breathing, your form, your technique. But it also means listening to your body and not pushing yourself too hard, because pushing yourself too hard can lead to injuries, and it's also important to be mindful of your limits. So if you can focus on these things, you'll really start to find that not only do you get more out of the exercise that you're doing, but you actually enjoy it more, right? And that's really something that I have really found a passion in finding so important to help other people with, is really finding joy in your exercise, finding the things that you want to do with your body that you really enjoy. Like I know for years as I struggled in diet culture of really, I would only do exercise if it was attached to a calorie value. If it burned X amount of calories, that was the only reason why I would do it, not because I actually enjoyed it. So as I've kind of gone on this journey of stepping away from diet culture, I've really come to that point of doing things just because I love to do them, not because they have a calorie deficit that they're going to help me to achieve, or that it's going to burn the X amount of calories. Like, that's not where I live anymore. So to work out mindfully, we really need to find a quiet place where we can work out uninterrupted for 10 minutes or more. So when we're doing this, we really want to start by focusing on our breathing, taking it slow, doing deliberate movements. And as you work out, start to pay pay attention to the sensations of your muscles working and the feelings of your heart pumping. And then once again, just like any mindful practice, if your mind begins to wander, simply return to your breath and the sensation of working out or moving your body, right? Celine is here. She says, hey, beautiful. Hi, Celine. So glad to see you. So what I wanted to do today, you guys, is just give you 3 ways that you can start to be more mindful with your exercise. And the first step, I believe, to being more mindful with your movement is to be intentional. So when it comes to exercise, consider your intention. Because when you are considering your intention, it can be just as important as the type of movement that you do. You may desire to walk away from diet culture and weight loss goals, as they have always left you feeling that discouraged and resentful energy when the results are slowly coming in, or that you're yo-yo dieting, like, I know I have been guilty of doing. However, when your intention is to be mindful of your body and enjoy the process of moving, then you're more likely to stick with it and see those lasting results of having that healthy body. So mindful movement can really help us to connect to our body in a positive way. It can increase our energy levels. It can improve our overall sense of being. So next time that you are desiring to move your body, just take a moment to just think about why you're doing it. And really, chances are you will find that the answer is much more motivating than it was to simply focus on losing weight. Yeah, that is definitely something I have walked away from, and really just come from a place of being more intentional with my movement and doing the things, like really asking myself why I'm doing these things. Is it, is there a motive behind it that is unhealthy behavior, unhealthy thinking, and just really coming back to that intentional state of being present and asking myself why I'm doing it. And so secondly, with our mindful movement, something that is really important is to tune into your body sensations. So have you ever taken a moment to notice how good it feels to move your body? So maybe it was when you were dancing around your living room, or going for a jog or a run, or doing some yoga. When we are mindful of our body sensations, we can really tap into that source of pleasure and empowerment and find that joy in movement, right? So exercise is really a great way to connect to our body sensations. When we are mindful of the way our bodies feel as they move, we can really start to notice things that we may have been missing before. So maybe we feel the muscles working as we lift weights, or maybe the wind on our skin as we go for a walk or a run. Maybe we notice the way our heart rate increases as we get our heart rate up, right? Just noticing those little things, paying attention to those body sensations. And really that's going to be how we can get more out of our exercise routine. We can really use the feedback from our own bodies and to gauge how hard we are working and make sure that we are staying within that healthy range, right? And because exercise can be such a pleasurable experience when you are doing things that bring you joy, it can help motivate you to stick with it, even when you don't feel like it, because you enjoy it, right? Long gone are the days, I know, when I say yes to movement that I don't want to do. If I don't want to do something, I'm going to tell you, or I'm going to say no, or I'm not going to do it. I do movement now because I like the way my body feels when I do it. Like my yoga practices, going for a walk, going kayaking, dancing, like all these things that bring me joy are the ways that I choose to move my body. So when we are doing these things that bring us joy, it will motivate us to stick with it, right? So next time that you guys are exercising, really take a moment to tune into your body and just see what it has to tell you. Our bodies are brilliant things that we possess, that we sometimes ignore and treat poorly and do things that just don't resonate, right? So thirdly, you guys, is to check your mind. Check your mind. So next time you guys are working out, really take a moment to notice the quality of your thinking. Mindset is huge, you guys, and I have learned that over my years. And the quality of your thinking is so important. So are you appreciating your current ability, your current speed, your current endurance, just as they are? Lots of times we're always striving for the next thing or the next accomplishment. It's really just being present and checking with your mind if you're just embracing and appreciating your current ability. Because that's the whole part of gratitude, right? Is coming back to being grateful for the things our bodies do for us now. Because our bodies do so much for us every single day that we really just take for granted to a certain degree, right? So in times that you're working out in a group or a virtual group or otherwise, can you think about, if you do this, can you let go of the comparing mind? Of like, oh, she did that pose so much better than me. Oh, she looks like she knows what she's doing and I don't. My body doesn't, go into that shape like her body does. It's really easy to get caught up in that comparing mind, right? And instead, we really need to step away from that, get your mind out of that space, and just instead thank yourself for showing up for this healthy activity. And just sit in the gratitude that comes with being grateful for your body and what it does for you. I know that's something that I do in my own practices that I teach, is we always end with being grateful for what our bodies have done for us. Because we can always find things that our body has done for us in that moment that we need to be grateful for, right? And that we can thank ourselves for showing up for that healthy activity or that healthy movement that has brought us joy. So when we get often caught up in this whole idea of comparing ourselves to others, it's important to remember that we are each on our own journey. Every journey looks different. My journey doesn't look like your journey. Your journey doesn't look like someone else's journey. When we can appreciate our own progress and our own effort, mindful movement becomes much more enjoyable and empowering. So next time that you are moving your body, just give yourself a break from that comparison game and simply just enjoy the movement and find gratitude and connect to those body sensations and just be intentional. So those are just 3 simple ways that you can start to find joy in mindful movement and find joy in exercise if you haven't been able to go through that journey for yourself of really stepping away from the things that we think we're supposed to do and start to just really come into the things that make us happy, that make us appreciate our bodies, that make us be thankful for, being grateful and thankful for the things that we show up for our bodies too, right? So with that being said, you guys, I hope that was helpful, and I hope you have, been able to gain some tips and tricks in order to just really come to exercise with that intention. Come to exercise not dreading it, not having that fear, not having that shame behind, oh, well, my body looks like this, so I can't go to the gym. There's a whole nother thing to do with gym culture and what, people feel like when they go to gyms and how there's been horrible experiences. But we really need to just put all that stuff aside and really come to that place of intentional being, of listening to your body, on paying attention to your body sensations, and finally just stopping the comparison. Comparison is huge when it comes to exercise because we are always looking around and judging ourselves based upon what someone else's body is doing. They're not our body, right? So anyway, that is all I had for you guys. If this topic interests you, we really go into depth with mindful movement in my program, The Self-Love Revolution with Martina. You can get started in that program for as little as $33 a month for 12 payments. super affordable program, which really provides you with such a beautiful community of women stepping into their confidence and their power and just connecting to their bodies in a way that they never did before. So if that sounds interesting to you, I would love to have a conversation. You can private message me or comment on this video, and I'm happy to have that conversation with you. So with that being said, you guys, I'm going to pop out of here. I hope you guys have the best day. Celine says, thank you. So appreciate you. I appreciate you too. I appreciate you for being here. So anyway, you guys, have the best day. We will talk